actually thinking of going for a hike to the part that's just up the hill, but I guess I'm just gonna stay cozy inside. Hi and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe and like if you like any of the content I make. I make travel videos and travel vlogs. I try to provide a little bit of the tips and information that I learned as I travel along. I also create financial videos like this one, where I try to motivate you and also have myself accountable for the financial goals and milestones that I want to reach. And yeah, it's just a little bit of everything, I guess, a little bit of lifestyle and cooking and just an overall view of the things that I enjoy doing, and making videos, editing and all that is one of those things. So if you're interested in any of those things, feel free to subscribe and like if you like what you see. So on this video, I wanted to put it out there where I'm going to start my financial journey. Not really from zero, because I have been doing some tracking sort of things for several years already, but last year was where I saw the largest improvement in my financial freedom, I guess you could say, or financial stability, I guess, peace of mind. So I want to keep that going for this year, and so I want to, actually I have to set new goals, because for last year I was able to meet a couple of my goals, and I feel really excited and motivated to start working towards my goals for this year. So let's get into it. I have made 2 financial videos before about HSA and also opening a high yield savings account, but I made them in Spanish. So if you also speak Spanish and you feel like that information would be useful for any of your family members that don't speak English, or just, you know, to share among other people that are Spanish speakers, then feel free to check those out. I'll leave a link somewhere on the description so you can go ahead and get that information, a little bit of information to help you also on your financial journey. So as I said, this is my financial journey. These are the things that I'm doing for my own. Don't take this as financial advice, rather more of like a friend telling me, because that's how I would actually approach it if I was watching other videos, and that's actually how I have learned many of the things that I know now, is from watching other YouTubers. What has helped me is track my finances weekly, so that in turn, as I see the progress, I can adjust my behaviors around it, because money is a tangible item, but it's really entangled with emotions. And for a long time, I think I had, and I still do sometimes, stress associated with my money habits, like how I'm spending it. Even if it's on things that are needed, I would just try to, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but so I want to be able to heal that relationship with money myself, and that's why I want to document it to see where I stand, because last year it went really well for me financially, and I want to keep that going. But I know I still have the trauma from getting into student loans to be able to afford college, to then get a job that would help me get more money eventually, and a better salary. But because of that, I carry a lot of shame with the debt that I had to incur to go to college. And I know I'm not the only one. I know even people are made to feel ashamed of the debt they had to incur, even if it was like for emotional spending or for other needs, because the people that are judging don't actually know why you did it. And even if you just did it because you didn't know any better, the words or things they might say about it will still hurt you. So if you've been there, I know it too well as well, so we're on the same page. But on this channel, we want to let go of that shame and start working towards making better decisions for ourselves with the information that we have today. Because tomorrow we might learn something new and then we'll have to pivot in our decisions. And so for me, like I said, tracking it every week, knowing where I'm at every week helps me make those decisions with a clearer mind and more confident about how I'm making those decisions. And so I encourage you to either use a spreadsheet or some other apps that could help you do this tracking so that it doesn't feel overwhelming. As a basic rule of thumb, I think having a budget helps you understand where you're at every given moment. And to have a budget, you have to know what are all your expenses for the month. So, for example, rent, electricity bill, the gas bill, any debt that you have to pay on every month. It could be any of those things that are fixed expenses, plus all of the other expenses that vary month to month. So, for example, what you spend on food, you may have an idea of what you want to spend on that month and allocate that amount of money for that month. But you might spend a little bit less or a little bit over that, and so that's why it's a variable, it's not a fixed amount. Then you would also do that with your gas, for example, for your vehicle if you drive, or transportation, or things that are changing but you know that you have to do at least once a month. Okay, so then you add your fixed expenses to your variable expenses to see your total expenses for the month. So that number is going to be subtracted from your total income for the month. If you have one job, you'll just have probably 2 paychecks every month, and so you will tally that up and then subtract all of those expenses from that total income to see what your balance is. You don't want to go under zero, because then that means you're spending more than you're actually making, and so you're going to have to be adjusting some of those budget allocations. Like, instead of spending or allocate $400 for food, you only allocate $300, and it's your job and commitment to yourself to stick to that $300 budget so that you can be not under zero, if you know what I mean. So that's basically what I do every month. I have a certain number of dollars that I'm going to spend on my variable expenses, or I'm hoping to spend on those variable expenses. I have a number for the ones that are fixed, and then as the week goes by, once a week for like 10-15 minutes, I go into my accounts, all the different accounts that I have, and I make sure that all the payments that have to be done did actually go through, and I just see where I'm at with my expenses for that week. So if it's the beginning of the week, if it's the beginning of the month, and I see that I already spent $80 on food and I've only allocated $200, then I'm either overspending on my food. I have to figure out why I'm overspending. Did I just buy extra things in bulk that I'm going to also use for next month or something like that? But that allows me to see where I'm at on a weekly basis. And that gives me a peace of mind. You don't have to do it on a weekly basis. A lot of people just do it once a month. But you have to be checking it regularly. I think I suggest to at least do it once a month, so you're not surprised with expenses that you didn't account for, or they didn't realize that were making, that would actually impact your budget and your financial goals. So that's my take on it. So I guess goal number one for my financial 2024 goals is to stick to the budget that I have set up. It has changed a little bit due to all the things that have been going up currently. So I have made those adjustments. I like I said, I did this. I started tracking my financial life several years ago. But last year was the one that it was fully dedicated, and I'm able to draw the most data from. So I was able to tally up the totals and do a forecast for my expenses this year. and so I think I should be okay. So my goal anyway is to be able to stick to that budget, and if I do need to adjust, I need to figure out why I'm adjusting, if I'm spending more on an area that I didn't think I was going to. So anyway, so goal number one, sticking to my financial budget for 2024. My goal number two is to reach a 15K emergency savings account total. And yes, so last year I was able to meet my emergency savings, and this year I want to make it to 15K where I just have that in cash available where for whenever I need, like whenever I actually need something. And things happen unexpectedly all the time. Last year I had to use some of that emergency fund to for an emergency, and or for like something that I was not expecting to spend money on. And this year we just started the year, and I already see something that is going to be an expense that I was not expecting. It's an emergency, but I want to be able to figure out a way to make the money for that unexpected expense without tapping into my emergency fund. I know the emergency fund is for specifically that purpose, for something that is unexpected, but even though it's unexpected, it's not urgent, so I think I can make it happen, and I'm going to try to figure out a way to make it happen so that my emergency funding goal for this year stays on track, and then I'm able to cover for that emergency. So yes, goal number two, filling out my emergency fund to 15K. Okay, goal number three, one that is really important to me, is paying down my debt. So I went to college, so I had debt, right? And that has, its own connotations. I think debt has a lot of really bad connotations, and even myself, I struggle with it because I could be really mean or rough to myself because of the decisions I made to acquire that debt, right? But I also try to be nice to myself because I know that now that I didn't know any better back then, and because of all the fear and all the stress and then like having to provide for myself while also pursuing that dream of going to college and getting a degree was probably a little too much more than I could handle. I did not know how to ask for help. I wanted to figure it all out by myself, which I'm still trying to work through because I really don't know where this comes from. I guess I kind of know, but like that's another story. Anyway, so what I'm trying to do now is, yes, I put myself through college. Yes, I got a degree that will give me the leverage to make more money to pay off the money that I had to borrow to be able to go to college. But I don't want to feel this weight on my shoulders anymore. I don't want to feel like I'm tied down to a place or to a job or to any conditions because I'm still dragging that debt with me. And so this year I think paying it all off in 1 year by the end of this year is probably a little too ambitious, but I have made the calculations and the numbers, and I feel that if I can tighten up my budget a little bit more and focus on that to aggressively pay that off, I could probably do it in I don't know, a year and a half or something. So my goal is to, yes, stick to the budget, which means like stick to the debt payment or debt repayment that I have set for myself, and figuring out a way to make more money. So yeah, and with that, those things going on, in the bag, I should be able to meet my third goal, I think it's fourth goal now, to increase my net worth. Because I would have lowered my liabilities, grown my net worth, grown my assets, my savings, also my investments, and things like that are going to just keep growing because of how I have set up my next financial milestones. So with that, I should naturally have increased my net worth by the end of the year, which I have seen progress on from last year. It has made me really happy. So for this year, I want to start at the beginning of the year and have this accountability type of videos where I just go into and check my finances, make sure or see that I'm still on track, and if not, like, make adjustments as necessary. So hopefully this video gives you inspiration to start your own financial journey this year. And at any given time during the year, wherever you feel ready, and even if you don't feel ready, I just urge you to take the first step. Just look at your numbers, your finances. It might be hard at first, like it was for me. It was just like an eye-opener, and I was scared, and I was overwhelmed and stressed out, and all of that. But I did not want to continue to be that way, and I knew that if I didn't change some of the money habits that I had, which one major one was tracking everything that I was doing with my money, then I would still be the same years down the road. So now I can feel pretty confident that I will achieve those goals with time and with discipline, and even with just making sure, checking in with myself and my money and all that. At the end of the day, it's just numbers. So whatever gives you a peace of mind and something that you don't have to worry about, do whatever works for you. So that's my 2 cents, I guess. But yes, so I hope you like this financial chat. This is something that I have with myself, so I'm telling it to you, I'm telling it to myself. I also tell it to my friends and my loved ones who I care about, because I feel that financial stability, financial freedom, if you're there, gives you such peace of mind and more opportunities to live a better life, just to enjoy yourself and do whatever you want. If you want to go on vacation, you have the money to do that, or you want to go out and try this really nice restaurant, you know that you can do that without breaking the bank. So I hope you find this video useful. Don't forget to check out those other videos. They're in Spanish though, so if you're learning Spanish, or if you have family that speaks Spanish, friends and family that speaks Spanish, and you think those videos would be useful too, I have other videos, like I said, so feel free to go through my page and see what interests you, and I'll see you next time. It's been quite a weird day here in Lisbon today. It's been sunny and rainy and cloudy. Oh my god, there's a rainbow!